Welcome to Real Deal. This is the St. Patrick's Day episode.
Hi, I'm Jazelle.
And I'm Terra.
And today we'll be talking about Ireland's Big Three, the Banshees of Inisherin, All of Us Strangers, and Bottoms. And now I know you're wondering, why Bottoms?
Why Bottoms?
Listen, our Irish queen, Ireland. Go Ireland! Ayo Debris, Miss Thing herself, also, allegedly, Jenny the Donkey.
Dublin's very own, according to some. Dublin's very own. She also plays Jenny the Donkey in Banshees of Inisherin, so let's get into it.
You know what? Banshees of Inisherin. I just saw that recently. I did not see it last year for Oscar season. So fire. Everything about it was just amazing. Starring Brendan Gleeson as Colm, Colin Farrell as Padraig, and Barry Keoghan, the little freak himself, as Dominic, Carrie Condon as Siobhan, and then, of course, allegedly, Ayo Debris as Jenny the Donkey. Directed by Martin McDonagh. It was nominated for 9 Oscars.
It won nothing, I fear.
Kind of
crazy.
It got Best Picture, Best Score, Best Original Screenplay.
Just to name a few. Went home empty-handed.
Unfortunately.
To give you guys a little description of the movie, 2 lifelong friends find themselves at an impasse when one abruptly ends the relationship with alarming consequences for both of them.
Yeah, and this takes place in
1923. About the end of the Irish Civil War.
Yeah.
So you've got these 2 characters and their family and friends living on an island. Inisherin is made up. It's fictional for the point of the movie. And on the mainland, they've got the Irish Civil War kind of raging on, and none of the citizens on the island seem to be bothered much with that. They don't have any opinions and don't take much stock in that.
It's literally just like across the river.
Yeah, you can see it, you can hear the gunshots and everything, but they're very unbothered with that. And so we move in and find Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson as 2 best friends, Colin and Padraig. I'm so sorry. 2 best friends who get a pint together every day, and then suddenly one day you find that Colin is like, I don't want to be friends with you anymore. You know, lifelong friendship. And of course, you know, you're going to have Colin Farrell confused. He's like, why don't you want to be friends with me? And, you know, Colm sums it up to say that he is a fiddler and he wants to focus his life on music. And he feels like, you know, when he dies, he's going to have nothing to leave behind, nothing of value or importance. And he's like, I want to focus on my music and, you know, my career or the arts and things of importance. And also, you're very dull.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Which was so crazy to me. I was like, oh, wow. If somebody told me I was dull, you could have just said boring.
Dude, no, because I would have said the same. Also, he told him that like the third time he came to him.
He gave him no explanation in the beginning. And so you've really got this difference between these 2 friends. And, you know, I think Park's worst crime is maybe that he's a little bit annoying.
Yeah.
You know, but you've all got a friend like that. You can all be like that. It's
very
okay.
needy, very puppy dog, you know. And clearly, like, Brendan Gleeson as Colm just wants a little space. He's an older guy, too. And so you totally get the juxtaposition of, you know, different things in life, different directions because of the age gap, and, you know, Padraig, Colin Farrell is like, you know, please, why are you doing this to me all the movie? And then he comes in with a fucking cut off finger.
Yeah.
Because Brendan Gleeson's like, you know what, if you keep doing this to me, I'm gonna cut off my hand.
Yeah, we're at a relatable point in the movie where it's like, damn, friendship breakups do suck. And then it takes a turn because Colm is like, every time you talk to me, I'm going to cut one of my fingers off.
Yeah.
And he's a fiddler. So it's like he is willing to sever his relationship with the arts and with what he loves just so he can get some space. Listen, I've had some tough friendship breakups, but I'm not losing no fingers for nobody.
Fuck no.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How am I going to play Valorant?
Please.
I don't know, man. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. But this movie, honestly, like, crushed me. I felt anxious this whole movie.
Yeah.
You know, like the friendship breakup anxiousness. I felt that this whole movie.
Yeah, just no resolution. You don't have any closure. And, you know, Park's wondering the whole time, what have I done to really offend this guy? We've been friends for years.
Yeah.
You know, I don't understand what it is about me. You know, I think life on the island is just kind of absurd. I think all of the characters are a little absurd in their own way.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And then once Brendan Gleeson and Colin Farrell's characters, they sort of have a separation, then we see Dominic, played by Barry Keoghan. Gary Keoghan. By Barry Keoghan. He comes in and tries to, like, befriend Pyrick, but his sister's, like, not having it, Siobhan. She just, like, doesn't want him there, and he's, like, the village idiot, pretty much.
Yeah.
Of
and you
course
feel bad for him.
Yeah.
He's a weird little guy.
He's a weird little guy, and then we find out that his father, who is the policeman, is, like, sexually abusing him.
Mm-hmm.
Awful. Just awful. And pretty much Dominic gets rejected by the whole community and by the end commits suicide, which I did cry when they pulled him out of the river.
Yeah.
And
it gets dark. The movie has some dark and absurdist moments. And so I think in this world and in this realm that they're living in, cutting off your fingers is it's a perfectly normal reaction to, you know, not wanting to be bothered.
Yeah. And then Siobhan has to deal with this because Pádraic is her brother, and she is dealing with the rift between her brother and Colm, and she's getting this opportunity to move away into the big old city itself, and she feels like she can't move on because he's there, but also she has this big opportunity, and she's kind of shamed for it.
Yeah.
And, you know, she ends up moving away and making that decision for herself, which was a good thing. But it sort of leaves Pádraic to kind of pick up the pieces and figure out what he wants to do with the Colm situation. And
with his life, essentially.
Yeah.
You know, now everything that he's known is so different.
Yeah. And then there is a scene where Colm cuts off one of, like, multiple of his fingers, like 3 fingers.
Yeah.
And throws them at his house. And fortunately, the donkey eats one and chokes on it and dies.
Rest in peace.
And Jenny the donkey is, like, Pádraic's best friend.
Yeah.
Like, bestie.
And by then it's like, okay, ties have been cut. We're not going back from this.
Yeah.
So sets the man's house on fire.
With him in it?
Yeah, I think he has the opportunity to leave.
Yeah. He did end up leaving the house.
Yeah, and he leads the dog out first. Colin Farrell, Pádraic, he takes Colm's dog.
Because he doesn't want to create that same pain for the dog because he just lost his donkey, you know?
Yeah.
And honestly, it was just so emotional.
Yeah, I think I had such mixed emotions. I left this knowing that I loved it, but I think I needed to sit with it longer. I don't know. It just was so deep to me. I don't think you know going into it that he's, like, willing to take such a crazy route in terms of separation. And I think to a degree Colm is relatable in the sense that you feel like sometimes you're alienated and maybe there's more to life, you know, for you out there, and maybe people around you don't get it and don't understand. And I think it's very interesting and symbolic that his whole thing is, like, on his fiddle. He's working on a new song, Banshees of Inisherin, and he's telling Pádraic about it. And they never finish the song. You never hear the end of the song by the end of the movie, you know, and he's, 4 fingers short by the end.
Yeah.
So, you know, you never get to hear it. So he never achieves that dream of, you know, trying to go after more. But he does everything he can just to get there. And the rift is, I don't know, crazy.
Yeah. I would like to honorable mention my friend Aiden, who left a Letterboxd review that said, "This happened to me in middle school."
Honestly, incredibly real.
I feel like we've all been in this relationship, you know, metaphorically.
Yeah.
Whether on Colm's side or Pádraic's side, you know, like, I feel like we've all received
severing
that, like,
parts of yourself for space or in desperation at reconnection.
Yeah. And I feel like this dynamic between two friends is something that we usually never see. And for that, I love it. I love this movie. It has a 4.1 on Letterboxd. it deserves all of its flowers. It should have received an Oscar.
Something.
Yeah. This was just an amazing movie. Yeah. And I loved it, and it moved me.
Highly recommend.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. I don't remember what I gave this. I think I probably gave it 4 stars.
I think I gave it a 4-star or 4.5. Yeah. I really enjoyed this movie.
Me too.
It made me sob, and it made me stressed out.
Also, Colin Farrell is so fine. Unrelated. Really fine man.
Yeah. But and his range is amazing.
It really is so crazy. Mm-hmm. It's so crazy. Thinking about him in Batman.
Because this is a 2022 movie.
Yeah.
But then it was part of the 2023 Oscars. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then he did Batman last year.
Yeah, crazy. Or what was that, 2022?
Or was that 2022
Yeah, that was, so at the same time.
Dude, what is time?
Yeah.
But yeah, so like to know that he did this, and then he did, what the fuck is his name? Como se dice in Batman?
The Penguin?
The Penguin. I was like,
Yeah. I love the makeup on that, and I think they're giving him an HBO show, I believe, a spinoff. I think The Penguin is getting its own spinoff. Oh, that would be
cool.
I think it's been a bit delayed, obviously, because of strikes, but I'm very excited to check that out.
I'd be down to watch that.
Yeah, I'm interested. We recommend this film. Definitely go check it out. I feel like if you've gone through a friendship breakup and you feel like you're normal and healed enough, I would go check this out. If you're still sensitive, watch it with all the shears away from you, probably.
Yeah, hide the scissors.
Yeah, don't do nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Moving on to All of Us Strangers with Andrew Scott as Adam, Paul Mescal as Harry, Claire Foy and Jamie Bell as Adam's parents. Directed by Andrew I'm not sure. Just to give you guys description. One night, screenwriter Adam and his near-empty tower block in contemporary London has a chance encounter with his mysterious neighbor Harry that punctures the rhythm of his everyday life. As Adam and Harry get closer, Adam is pulled back into his childhood home, where he discovers that his long-dead parents are both living and look the same age as the day they died over 30 years ago. Okay, I know you just watched this most recently, so maybe you want to dive into it first, because I know it's fresh. You watched it this morning.
Yes, I did watch it this morning. I gave this movie a 3-star. And, you know, Andrew Scott, I think, is a really good actor, underrated actor.
Yeah.
He definitely delivers a powerful performance, and Paul Mescal, sexy as ever.
Perfectly rated. Don't Google him or anything. I'm gatekeeping. Continue. You don't need to know who that is.
Redacted. Redacted, sexy as ever. And I think that what I really enjoyed about this movie is I think it explores sexuality during this time. I mean, it takes place in the 1980s, early 90s.
I think it kind of goes back and forth. So that's when his childhood is. And
in
then
the 80s?
And then you're in the present.
In the 90s. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. That's what I figured. And I appreciated that it touched on the AIDS epidemic.
Yeah.
And the relationships that queer people face trying to gain acceptance with their parents.
Actually, I think it's 80s and then now.
Oh, you think it's now?
Yeah, because it's like 30 years ago, right? So when he was a kid, 80s, and then
I don't know. The way that the set design was, I was unsure.
Yeah, kind of ambiguous.
Okay.
But his laptop work made me think.
Yeah, no, reading the description here, I totally forgot about that,
I'm not trying to imply that you guys didn't have laptops in the 90s, by the way.
You know what?
Redacted. I
totally forgot about that. But knowing, they died over 30 years ago, I'm assuming it does take place now. But, I did enjoy this movie. I appreciated that it touched on relationships with your parents. Also trying to seek comfort from your parents.
Yeah, grief and queerness.
Yeah. When you're battling grief and just trying to feel comfortable with yourself, and also talking about loneliness too.
Yeah.
It was a good movie. For me personally, it was a little bit slow.
Yeah.
I cried at the ending just because it felt like the whole movie was like very emotional, and at the end of it I was just like
yeah, I don't know, it's such a tough, it was a slow start in the beginning, as he's kind of adjusting. And kind of speaking on set design, I know we mentioned that a second ago, this movie is kind of stationary in the sense that you're not really moving much beyond their apartment, the complex that they live in, and Adam's home with his parents. Yeah. And we don't really go venture outside of that very much, except for I believe the club scene.
Yeah.
Which I think was really interesting, and we can like talk about that later. But
Paul Mescal always in a club scene.
And they're always the most devastating things ever. Oh my god, he should be at the club having fun.
Yeah.
Like
grow up.
He should be at the club meme. Maybe not for him. Like go somewhere else. Yeah. Go somewhere else. Go to the park. I don't know. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, watching Adam deal with, grief, and it seems like he's very closed off to Harry's advances until he kind of goes home and there are his parents who are, alive and, alive as ghosts. And he's kind of reckoning with this grief and the absence of them in the 30 years that he's had to grow up without them. And it makes him turn around and change his mind and accept, Paul Mescal into his life. It was a really slow start, but it's just so, I don't know, heartbreaking kind of seeing him have these conversations with his parents after so long about coming out of the closet and, how he's had to get on with life without them. And he seems like a very lonely man, too.
Yeah, it does seem very, like lonely. Like, we're seeing it from his perspective as someone who's very much battling with these things internally, doesn't have a lot of people to go to, very
hasn't moved on,
emotionally closed off. Yeah, totally. And then I loved Harry's character just because he was so like at the beginning very lighthearted and fun and like, can I see you again? You know, and being like sexually flirtatious and things like that. I thought that it sort of like rejuvenated the movie for me.
Yeah, it did. I think he adds some life, which, spoiler territory now, is ironic because the first scene in which he introduces himself, I think that's the only scene in which he's actually alive, is when he introduces himself to Adam and he's got the whiskey bottle, and he gets rejected and he goes back to his own apartment. I think all of the scenes, and I think this movie is ambiguous in the sense that you're not really supposed to be reading really strong and into strict timelines here and strict, how can they exist if they're ghosts? Baby, leave that at the door. This is not the movie for you if you need to be completely rational about everything, because you're gonna have questions at the end. But when he finds Harry's body at the end of the movie, and it's revealed that he's dead the whole time, he's in the same outfit. Yeah. So you don't even experience any of those actual moments with them, or maybe you do.
I really like Jamie Bell as an actor. I would like to see him in more things. I know he's usually like a background character. Yeah. But I really liked his performance as the father.
Me too. And I know some of those scenes were improv. Some of the scenes where they're talking and he comes out to him and he apologizes and, Adam has to be like, yeah, it's actually not okay. I know that was improv, and that did kind of make me tear up, where he's apologizing for not being there when he was alive and, having his son get bullied, and he's fully aware of it. Yeah. That one, I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. My challenge for Paul Mescal is to be in a movie, to be in a rom-com. I want him to feel a little bit of joy in these characters. Because it was very sad. And I was
thinking about his filmography. I don't think I can think of something happy he's in.
No, and he's always dying.
Yeah.
The man is always dead, he's always queer, and he's always dying.
Always dying. And what have we got? I think 2024 Gladiator, and I don't think he's going to live through that. And I'm certainly sure it's not a rom-com, so we're in for more pain. Also, if you guys haven't seen After Sun, which I think is I think this is a good performance from Paul, but I think After Sun is such a standout. Yeah. I would recommend checking that out.
I agree too. And then what I do appreciate about After Sun is there is the implication of him, touch of him being gay in that movie. Yeah. With the club scenes and just like, that movie is a really good illustration of what it's like to be alone and to battle with the things that we impose upon ourselves mentally, and sadness and
depression. Yeah. Yeah. Also, content warning though, if you're not in a happy place, I also wouldn't turn that movie on.
Yeah, I really wouldn't. I wouldn't turn this movie on for happy fun times either, particularly.
No.
But it is a very moving movie.
Yeah.
And it was good.
Yeah, I think it was good. I think it was solid. I gave it 4 stars. I think I can settle with that. I think I could see a 3.5, but I really personally liked it.
Yeah.
It touched me, and yeah, I don't know, really sad. I would like him to be in something happy. If you've seen Normal People, like, listen, I just need him to be in one happy movie.
I've never seen Normal People. That's
People
a TV show, right?
It is one of my favorite shows in the world.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm not a rom-com girly. I'm not a romance girly at all, actually.
Yeah.
But I did watch that, and I was like, oh, okay. I get it.
I'll have to watch it.
Also, I'll never be happy again. But okay.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Will I make it out?
Sally Rooney, the things that you have done to me. My therapist will be seeking you, girl.
Jesus.
Write a happy book, please. Not something ambiguously happy either. Anyway, I recommend All of Us Strangers. I think out of the 2 of them, if you're going to watch something, I would go with Banshees. Out of the 2.
I'd probably go with Banshees, too.
Yeah. More solid, more rounded, I think.
Yeah. And I think that the pacing is a little bit better in that movie.
Yeah, I think so too. I do think there are moments in All of Us Strangers where you can get a little lost, and it's worth mentioning too that it is a loose adaptation of a Japanese novel by Taichi Yamada. I'm not sure if the novel ending is similar, but, you know, I think, like I said, if you really like things to be explained to you, this is probably not the film for you.
Yeah. Now, if you do want a movie to be explained to you, Bottoms... It'll throw it right at you.
If you want it to be so clear that you shouldn't really have questions, that movie is such a fucking funny, good time. We've got Ruby Cruz as Hazel, Rachel Sennett as PJ, Havana Rose Louis, I think, as Isabel, I always say her last name wrong. Debris, as Josie, Kaya Jordan Gerber. I don't know why I put her middle name.
Kaya Jordan Gerber.
As Brittany, Nicholas Galazantine as Jeff, and Marshawn Lynch as Mr. G. PJ and Josie start a fight club as a way to lose their virginities to cheerleaders. The fight club gains traction, and soon the most popular girls in school are beating each other up in the name of self-defense. But the pair find themselves in over their heads and in need of a way out before the plan is exposed. In a nutshell, Fight Club for gays.
You know what? And that's all it is.
Yeah, that's really all that it is.
It's fucking hilarious. It is ridiculous, outlandish, absolutely well acted. Rachel Sennett, a knockout. Ayo Debris, a knockout. Love them both. And I just cannot speak better things about this movie. I feel like there are so many movies that try to be this.
Yes.
But they are not. This is untouchable. This is on top.
Directed by Emma Seligman, also, I forgot to mention.
Yes.
So funny. So worth watching. I think we went in, I didn't go into this very blind. I think I had seen that so many people were like, oh, it's hilarious. And
I went into it pretty blind. I didn't know. I knew it was about gays.
Fighting.
Gays fighting. And that was it.
You guys, it's watching hot women knock each other out. You don't need, what else do you need?
Can all my queer girls stand up?
What else?
Rise up.
What else do you need from a movie? It was hilarious. Yeah. It was so good. Marshawn Lynch is really funny.
Dude, I loved Marshawn Lynch, and I didn't expect him to be
as
so
funny
and
solid.
Yeah, just a great, solid cast. And this is a movie that has pretty much everything you could want from this style movie. This is almost kind of Superbad for chicks. Yeah.
yeah.
Not to, okay, actually, Superbad is Superbad for chicks. I'm gonna cut that. This is a Superbad equivalent, I will say.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, funny, crazy, sexy, cool.
It doesn't take itself
also nerdy.
Too serious. Yeah, it's nerdy. It doesn't take itself too seriously.
Yeah.
Has one of the best needle drops in the middle of the movie that
oh my gosh, yes.
You'll never expect. It's just so funny, and it's I don't know. I think there was a lot of really funny and good releases in 2023.
This has a 3.8 trippin'.
Yeah. This shit was fucking hilarious to me. I think that this was overlooked in 2023, honestly.
I agree.
This and Theater Camp, too. Theater Camp was also really funny.
I didn't see Theater Camp.
Oh, that's funny.
I'll have to watch it. But Bottoms, I feel You know, you just really can't go wrong. Perfect teen movie, young adult movie. It's so funny. You just gotta watch it.
I think Ayo has some of the funniest scenes in this, and knowing that she improv'd the scene in the car where she's, you know, got that long rant from the county fair to the car, and you can see Rachel Sennett kind of like, oh, are we gonna keep rolling? Like, I don't know if are we gonna keep, and Ayo's just running with it. Yeah. So funny. And what I like about the two of them, especially Ayo, is that, you know, and I don't want to discredit her work, because I always feel like she's playing a role, but also not playing a role. Yeah. And I mean that in the most respectful, like, way possible.
She's just an effortless actor.
Yeah. Comedy just comes so flawlessly and easily to her, and I'm so excited to see what happens with the rest of her career. Yeah. She was in a lot of shit last year.
This past year was the year of the Irish.
The Sweet East. She was in Bottoms. She was in Spider-Man.
She was in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah. Just booked and did everything possible.
Theater
Camp, The Bear. What a sweep for The Bear, too.
Dude, yeah.
That's nuts. I would like to see more from Rachel Sennett. And I think for Rachel, I would like to see some more serious roles, actually. I'd like to see what else she can do.
Yeah, I would like to see her with some range. Because I think that's what we're getting from Ayo that we're not getting from Rachel.
Yeah, Ayo carried this on her back.
Love this. And I thought Kai Gerber's acting would be offensive to me. It was not. I actually really liked her.
It was cute.
It was cute.
I really liked Ruby Cruz too. I think it was
I loved her.
A solid performance from her. I'd like to see what else she's going to be in. Mm-hmm. Also, if you're free tomorrow at 5:00, Ruby Cruz, please call me. Anyway.
Literally, if you're a woman in this film, if you're free tomorrow at 5:00, please call me.
Let me know. Let us know, please. We can double date, whatever y'all trying to do.
Yes.
Yeah, it's fine. It works out. Please go check out Bottoms. I think it's hilarious. I think it's good comic relief, too, in this set of films that we're talking about today.
Yeah, totally. I feel like last year we got a lot of serious movies. And I feel like this is a little glimmer of light and a sparkle in cinema that we needed. Yeah. Very refreshing, very funny.
And just different. Yeah. Literally Fight Club for the gays and the girls, like... fucking funny. Yeah. Nice and refreshing. I like Emma Seligman's work. I like Shiva Baby. I don't know if you've seen that.
Shiva Baby.
But yeah, that was crazy. The movie actually made me anxious as fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you. But it's solid.
I love that movie.
And I love to see young people in film. I love to see what we're out there doing.
Yeah, me too. It's cool to see people like around our age do shit.
Yeah. When it doesn't give me an existential crisis. Yeah. It's really inspiring. Yeah. That's our Irish trifecta for you guys. Highly recommend checking all of these out. Maybe in the order in which we mentioned, or if you need a little palate cleanser, stick Bottoms in the middle.
Yep. Stick Bottoms in the middle. Or cap it off with Bottoms.
Yeah.
You know?
If you can sit through the two of those and not be reduced to a puddle. Yep. You know, that might be perfect for you. Thank you guys again for tuning in.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Drink a pint for us.
Yeah, do a little Irish jig or something. Watch a movie with Killian in it. Watch Oppenheimer.
Watch Killian. Watch Paul. Watch AO. Mm-hmm. Listen to Pink Pantheress.
Irish talent everywhere.
Thank
you guys.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.